Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another edition of the Talking Fantasy Baseball podcast, Midweek Minutes. My name is Eric Henriksen, and on each Midweek Minutes, we'll be bringing you the biggest news and notes you need to know. A quick reminder that if you haven't already, please subscribe. We're available on all major podcast platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, and the Odyssey app. And please leave us a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, a kind review. It really helps us out a lot. So with that out of the way, let's get to it. This week, we're going to do the midweek minutes a little bit differently. There's been a lot of news and notes this week, but I think the biggest ones, we're just going to boil it down to 2 or 3. And the first one is Matt Shaw. Matt Shaw got called up by the Cubs yesterday, Monday, May 19th, and he started at third base, batting ninth. He went 2 for 4 and stole his first base as a major leaguer. Matt Shaw, over the last week, while he was in the minor leagues, really cranked it up. He started hitting the ball harder. He started hitting the ball well. He had a bunch of home runs, and he just looked ready to come back to the major leagues. So the Cubs are giving him another shot to be their starting third baseman. And mind you, he played 18 games in his first go-around in the major leagues. You can expect a young player to struggle in their first go-around, and that's okay. Do not give up on him. In the league where I drafted him, and I had to drop him because I didn't have a roster spot to stash him in, I picked him back up, and I put him in my lineup because I still have confidence that my outlook on Matt Shaw has not changed after 18 games of professional experience. Now, in game 19, he went 2 for 4 and stole a base. So they have confidence in Matt Shaw to run. They have confidence in him playing third base. They have confidence in him being in their lineup, and I think you should too. But maybe just keep him on the bench for now. But Matt Shaw being back with the Cubs is a great thing. They saw what they needed to see. He made the improvements. Now, the max exit velocity, he's never going to have top-of-the-charts max exit velocity. As far as his average exit velocity, you can expect it to be better. He was ultra passive in his first go-around in the major leagues, but he was attacking pitchers. He was attacking pitches in the zone when down with AAA over the last few weeks, and he's just looked a lot better and a lot more confident. I think that was a big thing that the Cubs needed to do. They needed to get his confidence back, and he looks ready to go. So if he's out there on your waiver wire, pick him up, maybe put him on the bench for a little bit, see how he does. In Yahoo leagues, he is triple eligible at second, third, and short, so that's a great piece to have on your bench, but you never know what's going to happen, and again, your outlook should not have changed on Matt Shaw at all. Next up is Ronald Acuna. I know it's tough to give updates on a guy who was formerly the number 1 overall fantasy player, but Ronald Acuna might be back sooner than anticipated because he's already moved to AAA. He's homered a bunch of times. Now, he hasn't played the outfield in consecutive days yet, but he has played the outfield, and I think that's a big deal. He's only about, a week or 2 into his rehab assignment, but he's looked really good at the plate. Going into Monday, the 19th, he hadn't struck out yet in his minor league rehab assignment. 6 walks, no strikeouts, so you love to see the plate discipline there already. He's seeing the ball well. The Braves need an infusion of energy into their lineup, so hopefully Ronald Acuna will be back sooner rather than later. He may not need the full 20 days. Personally, I would give him the full 20 days, but if you're the general manager of the Braves, you may want him up sooner rather than later so that you can hopefully inject, like I said, that energy into the lineup and get this team rolling, because they've really seemed to have some poor luck over the last couple of years when it comes to performance, when it comes to injury. Austin Riley last year out for the season after he broke his hand. Obviously, Acuna was out after tearing his ACL. So since this team has won the World Series, it's been a string of bad luck, in my opinion, and maybe Ronald Acuna coming back will be that good luck charm for them. If you've stashed Acuna this whole time, maybe put out some feeler offers, because sometimes the buzz for a player coming back or coming up, that's when their value is never going to be higher. But if you have him and your roster is depleted, or you really see some giant holes, maybe put out some offers to see if any managers are interested in acquiring Acuna. I bet you could get a pretty penny for him. So Ronald Acuna probably will be back in short order. And then the third player we're going to look at today is Yuri Perez. He heads for AAA for his next start. He's got 12 strikeouts to 3 walks over 10 innings, covering 5 rehab starts with Single-A Jupiter. Now he moves up to AAA. He went 4 frames and threw 49 pitches in his most recent outing, which was last Friday. And you got to anticipate that perhaps Yuri Perez has maybe 3 more starts left. So he could be up fairly soon, and that'll put him about 14 months removed from Tommy John surgery. Look, command is the hardest thing to get back from Tommy John surgery. You're seeing that with his teammate Sandy Alcantara. And Yuri Perez didn't always have the strongest command, but he is a young pitcher who has tremendous upside. So if you play in the, and this is kind of ridiculous, 71% of leagues where he is available, go stash him now. You can't tell me that you don't have a pitcher on your roster that won't be worse than Yuri Perez in the long run. Like, if you're rostering Yusei Kikuchi, go stash Yuri Perez instead. If you're rostering Shane Smith, I like Smith's upside, but I gotta say, I like Yuri Perez better in the long run, even coming back from Tommy John surgery. If you've got Tyler McGill, if you've got David Peterson, Griffin Canning even, I would say try and stash Yuri Perez if you've got an available IL spot. If you need him to be on the bench, I drop any one of those guys for Yuri Perez. His talent is tremendous, especially if you're in a keeper league. Oh my goodness, go get him right now. Right now. I'll end the podcast there. You go get Yuri Perez right now. All right, so that'll do it for this week's Midweek Minutes. Josh and I will be back later this week with an all-new full-length episode, so please subscribe. We're available on all major podcast platforms. A little bit different format today. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll maybe throw one of these in there from time to time. Oh, and Aaron Judge is still hitting over 400. For the Talking Fantasy Baseball podcast Midweek Minutes, I'm Eric, saying see you next time.